nakapag-desisyon na ako. Ayaw ko nang magsaka ng niyog. Total, may kanya-kanya na kayong buhay. Pwede ko na itong ipamahinga.
Hindi po, Lo. Hindi natin isusuko ang mga pangarap mo. May naisip po akong paraan.
May malawagang programa ang PCA ngayon sa buong Pilipinas. Una, mayroong tinatawag na participatory coconut planting. So, participatory, kasama yung magsasaka, sila yung magtatanim ng niyog doon sa kanilang lugar. Meron din programa na coconut seedling dispersal program. Ito naman yung hatid-bunda. So, ang PCA ngayon, ang manganganap ng magagandang budget. So, ito yung, kung wala yung farmers na bibili na gano'n. So, yung PCA, kasi meron rin naman tayong mga centers, no, na nagpo-produce, yung production center. At gumagawa din tayo ng mga hybrid. Ito yung mas madaling mamuna. Yun naman ang ibinibigay natin sa mga magsasaka. Pero doon sa dalawang programa na yon, dapat ay yung mga magsasaka ay nakaregister sa ating National Coconut Farmers Registry para mabigyan sila ng kaukulang benepisyo at saka servisyo. Doon naman sa matatandang yun na tingin natin ay pwede pa namang mamunga na maganda, meron tayong ginagawang programa na Coconut Fertilization Program. Ito naman yung bibigay ng fertilizer, ang PCA. Pero may mas malaking ginagawa ngayon na tinatawag na Coconut Hub. Dito sa Quezon, isa sa mga successful na Coconut Hub dito ay sa Alabat. So nagpo-produce rin sila ng coco sap sugar. Pero para matulungan to, ang PCA, nagtatayo ngayon ng coconut seed garden. So dito na mismo ginagawa yung mga magagandang tula na produkto na sa research ng PCA. Yung iba naman ay ino-organize na maging kaanid enterprise development program, yun ang project na yun. So tumutulong ang PCA para ma-organize yung community para magkaroon sila ng pagkakataon na ma-process naman yung kanilang produkto, hindi lang kopra. Pero karamihan ay integration ng animals, integration ng livestock, mayroon silang cropping, plus yung processing na rin. Doon sa sinasabi namin Kaanid Enterprise Development Program, kung ano yung kailangan sa processing katulad noon, pino-coordinate to sa iba-ibang sektor din, no? Ng ahensya, ng gobyerno, o kaya sa private sector, katulad noon, cocoa sugar, Beijing coconut oil processing. So yun ang i-akma yun. Pero yung training programs na akma doon, ginagawa rin ng PCA. So kasama-sama yun hanggang sa makaproduce ng high value product. Ang PCA may tao na sa mga barangay, sa mga munisipyo. So kung farmer ka, unang-una naman dapat lumapit ka ngayon sa PCA. So kung ano yung pinakamalapit na opisina, provincial office o regional office, and then magpapalista ka. So, kung doon ka sa registry ng coconut farmers, tapos isasabihin mo rin yung mga pangailangan. So, yun ang i-address na Philippine coconut.
Lo.
Maraming salamat po.
Walang anuman, Lo. Pinaghirapan natin ang lahat ng to. Maraming salamat din sa PCA.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's program. We are celebrating National Coconut Week, and we will start with our Philippine Coconut Authority's Transformation Roadmap. Again, we are going to be getting our webinar later on. So to begin the day, let's start with an invocation and our national anthem.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord our Savior. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for another opportunity to be of service to our stakeholders, most especially to our dear coconut. Lord, help us work under the tenets of professionalism, integrity, transparency, and excellence, which serve as the core values of who we are as an organization. Also, Lord, let this activity pave the way for each member of the PCA family to grow the passion and commitment we need as we embark into this transformation journey. Bless our newfound partners, our multi-sectoral advisory board members, and the Institute for Solidarity in Asia as they guide PCA towards success. We earnestly pray that everyone will be on board and will be united towards the cause of developing the industry and uplifting the lives of our dear coconut farmers. Amen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start the day. Once more, welcome to the 34th National Coconut Week. We're celebrating National Coconut Month 2020 this August. Maraming salamat po for making it today to our esteemed guests. Welcome. Ako nga pala si Dan. I will be your host throughout today's happenings. Magkakasama na po tayo for the past 4 days and it's been an honor. Maraming salamat po. Today, we welcome a change in the way that we work on coconuts, and it's been an eye-opening experience so far. We are going to be hearing more about the transformation of the PCA. Let's hear about that journey, and to tell us all about that, let's call on Miss Leia Ana Di Cuarto, the Department Manager of Corporate Planning Service.
To our esteemed guests, to our administrator, to our senior officials, and to all our partners in this journey, good morning. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to share with you the exciting journey that the PCA has embarked on to lead the organization in its road to transformation. It is never easy hurdling the process and gaining understanding and acceptance on why there is a need for change. Transformation is such a big word, but with commitment and dedication, it is possible. So during our workshop in Tagaytay last March, we were able to lay down the problems and collectively came up with possible solutions. And with our administrator at the helm having that passion and commitment, it all ignited the need for this transformation, underscoring the role of good governance in building a strong foundation in public service. Tapping the expertise of our friends in the Philippine Army, we were able to jumpstart the process and came up with our strategic framework. However, it is so easy to say that we are undergoing transformation. So to let you know that we are indeed serious in making this happen, we have enrolled in the Institute for Solidarity in Asia, an exclusive certifying body for good governance in the public sector using the performance governance system. Anchored on the Northern Kaplan's Balanced Scorecard technology, you are assured that all the plans laid out in the PCA Transformation Roadmap is aligned and is supported by a mechanism for monitoring its success. Further, acknowledging the reality of possible resistance in pushing for this change the management has launched an internal information advocacy program focused on not only disseminating information regarding the transformation, but most importantly, soliciting engagement and support. We are now currently in the process of undergoing this performance governance system. Simultaneously, we have established our strategy management unit and our strategic communications team. And now, we are officially launching the PTR together with the oath-taking of our multi-sectoral advisory board. All is set, and we are ready to take it in full swing as we cascade the PTR to each unit of the organization so they can establish the PGS in their respective offices with the end view of coming up with their own office as well as personal scorecards and scoreboards linked in the CSC-mandated Strategic Performance Management System or SPMS. The PTR is an 18-year transformation journey spanning 3 presidential terms. The vision is for PCA to be a globally recognized institution championing a market-driven coconut industry by 2038. Along the journey, we have identified 3 major base camps to serve as milestone indicators of success. Basically, the strategy map underscores the shift in the strategic focus from that of mere implementation of subsidy programs and projects to injecting agribusiness in every step of the supply chain, thereby adding value to the delivery of services to our dear stakeholders. Promoting stakeholders' convergence mechanism in all its aspects of the operational value chain, we were able to initially identify key public and private entities that PCA can tap in order to provide the needed interventions, specifically in implementing using the agribusiness elements and modalities. All of this will be undertaken using the agile program-based management approach and enabled by strategic communications. PCA cannot do the same things and expect better results. There needs to be some refocusing in terms of its operationalization, automating processes, enhancing manpower competence, and organizational capabilities to be able to effectively succeed in implementing the agribusinessizing approach. All of the interventions presented are anchored on this overall operational framework, providing alignment with the sectoral and national goals of the country. Lastly and most importantly, PCA needs to change with the end view of creating impact and contributing to the success of the national plan, particularly in food security and having prosperous coconut farmers. This is anchored as well in the 8 paradigms in agribusinessizing the agriculture sector. To end, I would like to enjoin everyone to please support the PCA Transformation Roadmap. Muli po, maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Thank you so much, Ms. Leia Ana Di Cuarto. Once more, PCA's Department Manager of Corporate Planning Service. Ladies and gentlemen, to give you guys a little bit more of a sneak peek as to how that roadmap is going to work, let's watch this short video on the PCA transformation journey and what else is to come.
The Philippine Coconut Authority has been bombarded by several industry challenges.
Samantala, nakatakda ang pulungin ng Department of Agriculture ang mga coconut stakeholder para talakayin ang bumababang presyo ng kopra pati na ang ibang problema ng
Compostela
sektor
Valley.
ng mga
Pero para kay Perpito Borbon na 2 dekada ng hanap buhay ang kopra, ngayong taon ang pinakabagsak na presyo nito.
Being the sole government agency mandated to develop the industry to its full potential, in line with the new vision of a united, globally competitive, and efficient coconut industry, PCA has to undergo transformation in order to negate the negative perception it has garnered from its stakeholders and to successfully adapt to the new strategic focus of agribusinessizing the industry. To prove that PCA is serious in undergoing transformation, it has commissioned the Institute for Solidarity in Asia, an exclusive certifying body, to ensure good governance in the public sector through the Performance Governance System, or the PGS. Further, the PCA has tapped the expertise of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Army's Governance and Strategy Management officers to help the authority plot its governance pathway, craft its initial PGS documentations, and set definite timelines for its implementation.
With the transformation roadmap that the PCA has put together, you have in fact laid out your ambition of converting previously very poor coconut areas into humming, bustling, economic agro-industrial areas, not only based on coconut, but on the coconut areas serving the needs of our food security requirements as a country. That as you pursue the transformation roadmap, you cannot do it alone. You'll have to ask the assistance of all the other sectors of Philippine society. And that is why I'm very glad that you have put together a multi-sector governance council to help guide you as you pursue your transformation roadmap.
Ang napalipas na administrator ay mga administrators ay 18. So doon sa 42 years ko sa PCA, ay wala akong nakita na transformation roadmap na katulad nitong sa pamumuno ng administrator Mantigan na nagkamayroon. Sana sa mga susunod na mga administrator ay masundan itong plano na ito para talaga na-improve natin ang coconut industry at saka yung mga tao na nagtatrabaho dito sa Philippine Coconut Authority.
The PCA Transformation Roadmap focuses on its people, processes, and policies as the main elements necessary for the success of its institutional transformation. Recognizing PCA's workforce as the backbone of the authority, PCA wishes to invest heavily in its transformation to become a more committed, competent, and inspiring public servants, delivering the best services to its stakeholders.
I support the transformation roadmap since this will help PCA towards a technology-driven and management information system aiming for empowering programs as well as strengthening our market and trade regulations. Because when our farmers and stakeholders see the direction that we're taking, they will surely adopt agribusinessizing and see that the PCA is leading the walk towards a market-driven coconut industry.
Na-appreciate ko po yung nilagay ninyo mga factors going into transformation, roadmap transformation. Kagaya po nung nabanggit po ni Heya na we have weak succession planning and career development programs. Kasi ngayon napipil po natin na dahil wala tayong mga plans and then yung succession natin ating mga tao at saka walang career development, marami tayong mga tao na lumilipat sa ibang agencies. So sayang yung mga tao natin na for how many years na train natin pero hindi natin sila nabigyan ng mga opportunity to become part of our agency. So appreciate po namin yung nilagay ninyo na isang mga factor para towards our transformation.
The workforce shall be supported by maximizing opportunities brought about by technology. With an aggressive advancement in automation, PCA will be able to transform from manual into technology-driven processes that will espouse not only efficiency and effectiveness, but also transparency and accountability. With the use of information management systems and data analytics, planning, programming, monitoring, evaluation, and decision-making can be done with much credibility. Project implementation will further transform into a more strategic, purposive, and integrated intervention packages that will ensure higher rates of success as well as more visible impact to the industry. Through stakeholders' engagement and convergence, public resources can be well managed to reach the most optimum realization of our strategic and common goals.
From production, productivity, to value-adding, processing, manufacturing, to market, here, locally, and abroad. Yun po, hindi na lang pwede na production ang atupagin natin. That is still important. But agribusiness is the way forward, with which we really can double the incomes of the farmers and fishers.
Ang laki po talagang dulot ng pagbabago, pag-angat ng pamumuhay ng pamilya ng aming mga kababayan na tumalima sa proyekto namin ng Cocoa Sugar through the Cocoa Hub na idinulot sa amin ng Philippine Coconut Authority.
And since the poorest among the poor are our coconut farmers, any effort, however small, that will improve productivity of the coconut tree will raise income of the farmers and contribute to the national objective of eliminating poverty. We recognize that the task is great, but we know that with the enlightened leadership of Admin Madrigal, first with his idea of transforming the institution, PCA, as an instrument of modernization, and secondarily crafting an industry roadmap for coconut. I'm sure that if we work together and we promise to work as hard as we can, that we will eventually succeed and help our farmers get out of their miserable condition.
The PCA Transformation Roadmap is a bold and ambitious initiative. It will require the whole PCA organization to embrace and internalize such culture of change, which will surely take time beyond one's career in the organization. Hence, such an initiative demands a focused and output-oriented leadership and governance in the organization to institutionalize the new culture within the PCA. With the current PCA leadership and PCA management acceptance of the challenge, there is strong confidence and assurance that the transformation roadmap will result in the much-awaited and needed reforms within the organization and the coconut industry to address the plight of our coconut farmers.
His initiatives of trying to change the situation of PCA industry are summed up into two potential legacy projects. The first project is the Institutional Transformation Roadmap. That's the first ever attempt to make PCA accredited as a member of the performance governance system. And I'm telling you, it is not easy to be accredited as a member of that performance governance system. Another equally important project is the crafting and finalization of the Coconut Farmers and Industry Roadmap. This is so significant because once the Coconut Levy Law will be enacted, the Coconut Industry Roadmap will define the development activities in the coconut industry.
The coconut industry, as dubbed by Agriculture Secretary William Dar, is considered a sleeping giant. Its potential in alleviating poverty in our country is huge and strategic. The challenge of awakening this sleeping giant falls upon us. We must meet it with shared dedication and commitment through which we shall move the industry forward. Together, we can push the Philippine Coconut Authority to become a leading agency in the agriculture sector, steering a market-driven coconut industry with greater reach and significance.
Kaya aking hinihimo at aking hinahayaan ng ating mga kasamahan sa Philippine Coconut Authority na pagtulong-tulungan natin may saayos at magampanan itong ating transformation roadmap. Ito ay hindi lamang para sa atin bilang ahensya, kundi para na rin sa contribution natin sa ikaunlad ng ating bayan at sa maunlad na pamumuhay ng ating mga mahihirap na mga magsasaka.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that that short video gives us inspiration and encourages us to work even harder towards the success of the PCA's transformation. And also, towards the tail end of that video, nakita po natin there were a few members of our multi-sectoral advisory board giving their take on the transformation. Well, let's get to know them a little more, shall we? First off, I would like to introduce and talk about Dr. Luis Rey I. Velasco, a renowned entomologist and a former chancellor of UPLB. He obtained his doctorate degree in entomology in the University of Queensland, Australia. He was a visiting IPM scientist and Asian Rice IPM network coordinator of the International Rice Institute, Research Institute. He served as board member of Phil Rice and a CIRCA senior fellow and consultant on agriculture University institutional development. He is well known as an administrator and researcher who has been a recipient of numerous local and international awards for his scientific research in agriculture and its related disciplines. In 2011, he was awarded the UP Policy Paper Award for the crafting of a policy and agenda for food and nutrition security in the Philippines. He was bestowed the Dioscoro L. Umali Medal for Outstanding Science Administrator by the National Academy of Science and Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, Dr. Luis R. I. Velasco. Moving on, I would like to introduce you all to Dr. Leo A. Gonzalez. Dr. Gonzalez is an international agricultural economist. He obtained his PhD in agricultural economics at the University of Tennessee under a Fulbright Hays Scholarship. He was a former liaison scientist for Asia and a researcher fellow for the International Food Policy Research Institute in Washington, D.C. As a senior international agriculture policy consultant, he has worked under the Asian Development Bank, World Bank, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the United States Agency for International Development, Philippine Rice Institute, the Department of Agrarian Reform, the Department of Science and Technology, among others. He is the founding president and chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Samahang Itinaguyod ang Kakayahang Angkin sa Pag-unlad, or known as the Society Towards Reinforcing Inherent Viability for Enrichment, a non-stock, non-profit organization engaged in policy research advocacy and values education. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Leo Gonzalez. Next up is Miss Maria Socorro L. Escueta. Ms. Escueta has worked with large companies such as San Miguel Corporation and Vitarich Corporation. She left the corporate world to be a full-time expatriate homemaker and once again pursued her passion for education as Associate Director for Personal Formation at Parif Woodrow School, as Vice President of the Institute for Federation of Family Development in Madrid, Spain, and a member of the Board of Advisors of the EduChild Foundation. She obtained her master's degree in education, specializing in values education at the University of the Asia and the Pacific. Aside from being a parenting effectiveness trainer and coach, she also does consultancy work on human resource and organizational development. Currently, an associate of the Institute for Solidarity in Asia. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Maria Socorro L. Escueta. Next up, I'd like to introduce you all to Honorable Congressman Wilfredo Mark M. Enverga, an advocate of education, health, rural and agricultural development, and local governance. He was elected as one of the youngest representatives in the 14th Congress representing the 1st Congressional District of Quezon Province. He earned his master's degree in business administration in 2003, both from the Southern New Hampshire University in Manchester. With his continued promotion of having a comprehensive and sustainable rural development plan, anchoring on policies and programs reducing rural poverty, enhancing food security, and fostering agricultural modernization, he was elected as the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture and Food of the current Congress. He is one of the authors of the House bills supporting the agriculture sector, one of which is the laying out of the measures on how to manage and utilize the cocoa levy funds. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Congressman Wilfredo Mark M. Enverga. And last but not least, our last member, I'd like to introduce you all to the illustrious Dr. Emil Q. Javier, awarded as a National Scientist last August 2019 for his contributions to agricultural research and crop production. Our MSAB chairman is a plant geneticist and agronomist. He earned his bachelor's degree in agriculture from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, a Master of Science in Agronomy from the University of Illinois, and a PhD in plant breeding and genetics from Cornell University. He rose to national prominence in 1975 when, only at 35 years old, he received the Toim Award in Agriculture, and a year later received the Rizal Pro Patria Award for his service in agriculture. In 1981, he was appointed Minister of Science and Technology and Director General of the National Science and Technology Authority, now the Department of Science and Technology. He has also served as a Presidential Cabinet Member and Chair of the National Science Development Board, and worked at The Hague in the Netherlands, and Senior Research Fellow for the International Service for National Agricultural Research. Ladies and gentlemen, our MSAB Chairman, Dr. Emil Q. Javier. But before we have them take their oaths, ladies and gentlemen, once more, we would like to introduce our special guest to administer the oath-taking. And to introduce him, we would like to call on our administrator here at the PCA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Administrator Benjamin R. Madrigal Jr.
Our administrating officer, whom I will have the honor of introducing later, our MSAB members, distinguished guests, colleagues in the Philippine Coconut Authority, coconut industry stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of our chairman, Secretary William Doliente Dar, let me express my deepest gratitude to the the would-be inducted PCA Multi-Sector Advisory Board, or PCA MSAB, for your acceptance and commitment to guide PCA as it traverses the road to good governance. Today's oath-taking of the PCA MSAB members signals the start of an exciting journey ahead. Excitement because I'm confident that with the diverse but cohesive composition of the board, PCA is clearly on its way to its envisioned transformation. Considering the caliber and wealth of experience of the group of Dr. Emil Javier, a renowned national scientist, distinguished UPLB chancellors, an economist, and agriculture luminaries. And having worked with them for the past 2 months, I have seen their dedication and commitment to our common dream of a truly modernized and developed Philippine coconut industry. We are also fortunate to be joined by no less than the chairman of the House Committee on Agriculture and Food, Congressman Mark Enverga, who has unwavering commitment and dedication to coming up with pertinent laws that would provide clear measures to invigorate the coconut industry and uplift the living condition of the coconut farmers. Also, as a representative of Quezon Province, a province with vibrant coconut industry, he is very much aware of the plight of our coconut farmers and is an active partner with PCA in our efforts to alleviate the farmers out of poverty. Lastly, we have in our PCA MSAB Dr. Socorro Escueta, who is highly recommended by Dr. Stanislao to represent ISA in the board and whose expertise in education, personal formation, and strategic communications is a great addition to complete the roster of effective enablers for this transformation. To all of you, our dear MSAB members, thank you and welcome to the Philippine Coconut Authority. Centered on PCA's people, process, and policies, the PCA Transformation Roadmap will pave the way for a more efficient and effective implementation of industry development plans. Because even if we are able to craft solid coconut farmers and industry roadmap, it will be very difficult to realize its success if the sole agency mandated to oversee such development is not capable to respond and deliver the needed services to its stakeholders. That is why the industry and institutional transformation go hand in hand if we truly want a holistic approach in helping the industry. And to further prove our genuine call for change, we have entrusted the Institute for Solidarity in Asia to lead us in our transformation journey and enrolled to their performance governance system. Through the PGS, the Philippine Coconut Authority will be able to effectively take its course in refocusing its strategic direction, automating its processes, enhancing manpower competence, and strengthening its organizational capabilities to be able to effectively succeed in implementing the agribusinessizing approach in agriculture. As we continue in our transformation journey, I call on our PCA family to act with a sense of urgency and stronger commitment for the firm implementation of our strategy, map, and performance governance scorecard. The PCA Transformation Roadmap success is our success. And lastly, with PCA MSAB in the forefront and with the guidance of ISA, we are certain that by 2038, PCA will become a globally recognized institution championing a market-driven coconut industry. Now moving on to my more important task of introducing our administering officer and guest of honor in today's launching of the PCA Transformation Roadmap. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate to be joined today by no less than the country's leading figure in governance reforms and the guru in ASEAN Corporate Governance Scorecard Initiative. He is best known as the country's Chief Economic Officer who oversaw the economic recovery and reform program of the Cory Aquino administration, as the NEDA Director General, and later as Secretary of Finance from 1989 to 1992. He has spent much of his career guiding and reorienting institutions to good governance. And now, he is here with us in our journey towards a values-oriented and transformative management. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce to you the Philippine Management Man of the Year in 2010, the Outstanding Filipino for Governance in 2012, and the Chairman Emeritus of the Institute for Solidarity in Asia and the Institute of Corporate Directors, Dr. Jesus Pilapil Estanislao.
Good morning, PCA Administrator Benjamin Madrigal, Chairman Emil Javier, members of the PCA MSAB, led by Congressman Enverga. I see Dr. Velasco, Dr. Marie Escueta, other members of MSAB. First and foremost, I wish to express my deepest regrets in not being able to have my physical presence at this very pivotal event for PCA. COVID-19 and my getting on with age have conspired against my in-person presence with you this morning. I really would like to take this occasion to express my highest commendation to the Philippine Coconut Authority for formulating its transformation roadmap. This to me is a very significant event. For this PCA Transformation Roadmap represents a possible important building block for our realizing the Philippines of our dream. And you're talking about a transformation of the industry. But let us not forget that the transformation of the Philippines travels only through one road, and that is the road of transformation of vital industries, vital sectors, very key areas, and critical regions of our country. So what we're talking about when we talk about the transformation of PCA and the transformation of the coconut industry, we're essentially talking about putting in a very important building block for the transformation of the Philippines, no less. So you deserve our highest respect and admiration. Now, when we begin talking about transformation, let us not forget that it is a very transformative event, bringing in game-changing outcomes from where we are with our daunting challenges to where we would like to be. A Philippines that sometimes even Filipinos look down upon, to a Philippines that we can all truly be proud of. From a Philippines that for too long has been looked down upon by many of our neighbors because we have been left behind. To a Philippines that can be cited as an exemplary country for being able to change from where it was to where Filipinos would like to be. Progressive, productive, capable of offering wide open opportunities for every Filipino to rise up to their full potential. Now we have chosen a very difficult task. It may take a long time. It is a very high mountain to climb. For truth to tell, our coconut industry has had its glory days already in the distant past. And we also know that the coconut-dependent areas of our country have been areas that have been the least progressive, probably the poorest, and therefore the hotbed, not only of poverty, but also of national insecurity. Economists have always said that the best way to move forward, to fight against poverty, to fight against insurgency, to fight against enemies of our national security, is through making our different areas, different regions, different industries post high levels of growth. And how can it be done? This transformation is in three ways important. First, from an industry that was dependent on the good graces, political favors of free access to the US market. Now you would like to transform it into an industry that serves as a base for an economic region that will be humming with economic activity, with a number of industries connected directly or indirectly with the coconut industry. That is a dream, that is something that needs to be pursued, and a dream that has to be pursued on a sustained basis until we can get it done by 2038. We're talking about an industrial zone, an industrial region that can provide for the national security and national food security of our country. This has become so important, especially during this period that has been introduced by COVID-19. So I wish you well and every success in your endeavor. I think you have three things that are working in your favor. The first one is that you can count on the support and the example of many other institutions that have gone through a transformation roadmap. In the case of PCA, you're very privileged that you have Administrator Madrigal with his connection with the Philippine Army. And the Philippine Army and the Philippine Armed Forces have gone through a transformation roadmap, which have been recognized not only in the Philippines, but globally. I'm very proud to tell you that the Philippine Army has been inducted in the Hall of Fame of Palladium, which is connected with the Harvard Business School. And it has been cited for its good public governance and above all for its transformation roadmap. So the experience of the Philippine Army can be brought to bear into the way how, in fact, you pursue the transformation roadmap of PCA. And as Administrator Madrigal has been very kind to point out, the experience and the wide knowledge of the Institute for Solidarity in Asia is at your disposal. So they're available to you. You can tap into them. They're, in effect, working with various sectors, with various regions, with various areas to be in mutual support with one another so that, in fact, everyone can pursue the transformation roadmap. In this case, now the PCA included. And lastly, you have an outstanding group of Filipinos who have constituted themselves into your multi-sector advisory governance board under the chairmanship of Chairman Javier and the participation of Congressman Enverga and the other members of your MSAD. I'm sure that you can count on them, not only for guidance, but for multi-sectoral support, which we absolutely need if we want to succeed in our transformation roadmap. So I wish you well. I wish you all of the best, because your success is the success of no less than the Philippines. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you so much. Once more, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Stanislao delivering a very inspiring message. But as we move on, the CEO of this convergence initiative, let's make it official. We would like to call on our MSAB members for the oath taking to be administered by no less than our guest of honor, Dr. Jesus P. Stanislao. Ladies and gentlemen, you may remain seated and, of course, just read off as Dr. Stanislao leads.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, your name,
Luis Rey I. Velasco,
having been entrusted to be
having been entrusted to be
a trustee or member of the Philippine Coconut Authority Multi-Sector Advisory Board,
a member of the Philippine Coconut Authority Multi-Sectoral Advisory Board,
do solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
to faithfully and willingly discharge
faithfully and willingly discharge
my duties and responsibilities
my
duties and
my
responsibilities
to the best of my ability,
to the best
of my ability,
and pursue institutionalization
and pursue
institutionalization
and adoption of relevant policies
and adoption of relevant policies
in achieving breakthrough results
in achieving breakthrough results,
which will support the continuity
which will support the continuity
and sustainability
and
sustainability
of the PCA Transformation Roadmap.
of
the PCA Transformation Roadmap.
I further pledge
I further pledge
to support the purpose
the purpose
and mission of the organization
and mission of the organization
in ensuring the development
and ensuring the development
of the industry
of
the industry
to its full potential
to its full
potential
in line with the vision
in line with the vision
for PCA to be
for PCA to be
a globally recognized institution
a globally recognized institution,
championing a market-driven
championing a market-driven
coconut industry by 2038.
coconut industry
by 2030.
by 2038.
So help me God.
So help me
God.
Congratulations, Chairman Javier. Congratulations to everybody in the MSAB.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all give our MSAB members a big round of applause. We wish to thank you for your selfless efforts to help not only the PCA, but the Philippine coconut industry. Now, moving along, we would like to hear from our MSAB chairman, Dr. Emil Q. Javier, for a few words.
Oh, sorry, I thought I taped my message, but it's an honor and privilege for us members of NSAB to be requested by Admin Madrigal to serve in that capacity as advisors to him and the PCA board. the greatest challenge to our country today remains the eradication of poverty, which is pervasive in the countryside. And among the poorest of the poor are the coconut farmers, their workers, and dependents. And therefore, we join PCA and the rest of the stakeholders in this momentous task of achieving a primary national purpose of eliminating poverty among our people. And the coconut occupying a third of our farmlands, and of which about a third of our rural folks are dependent for livelihood, figure prominently in that national objective of eliminating poverty. We are hopeful that through our small efforts, we will be able to assist Admin Madrigal and the PCA board in its momentous task of leading the transformation, not only of itself as an institution, but also of the industry as a whole. So help us God.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Once more, the chairperson for the PCA's Multi-Sectoral Advisory Board, Dr. Javier. Now, moving along, we are about to wrap up National Coconut Week in celebration of National Coconut Month. And so, for that, we would like to hear about the synthesis of this month-long celebration. Let's all call on and welcome D.A. Ruel M. Rosales, Chairman of the Coco Week Working Committee.
Good morning to our distinguished and illustrious guests of honor, Administrator Benjamin Madrigal Jr., management, ladies and gentlemen. This August, we celebrated the coconut, paid tribute to the Tree of Life with a month-long series of activities that highlight the importance of the coconut and the industry, as well as its stakeholders to the national economy and patrimony. In this regard, allow me to show you the highlights of the month-long celebration. Please.
On August 5, 2020, the 34th National Coconut Week and the 2020 National Coconut Month was officially opened through an opening program held at the Philippine Coconut Authority, Diliman, Quezon City, and was streamed live through Zoom video conference and Facebook Live.
This year, the PCA is extending the celebration to a month-long affair. We have lined up many activities.
It was seen by over 4,500 online viewers nationwide.
We also intend to enhance our people's awareness on the economic and health benefits of patronizing coconut products and advocate for wider domestic utilization of these products.
It is a contest to come up with the official sound brand of the National Coconut Week celebration and other coconut-related activities to reach all stakeholders. The contest mechanics was released to the general public on June 30, 2020 through PCA MRPD's Facebook page. The post was able to reach 13,495 people and had 218 shares. Mr. Brian Alfe Constantinopla of Las Piñas City captured the hearts of the judges with his entry entitled Niyog Niyogan and was proclaimed as the national winner. contest to come up with the official logo of the National Coconut Week celebration, which will give the event its own identity and shall be one of the efficient ways to communicate information about coconut-related activities. It was open to all PCA employees nationwide and participated by employees from the central, regional, and provincial offices. Among the 19 logos, the entry from Mr. Anel Orias of PCA Zamboanga Research Center was chosen by the judges as the official logo of the National Coconut Week celebration. The Coco Premio was designed to recognize outstanding coconut farmers for their best practices and innovative ideas implemented in their respective coconut farms. The Coco Premio is composed of the following categories: Miss Zoraida Macapadi of Lanao del Sur Barm won the Coco Lucky category with her entry of a total equatorial and polar length of 585 millimeters. Mr. Benigno Sinalalay of Misamis Oriental, Region 10, won the Coco Dami category with 54 coconut fruits in a bunch. Mr. Wiljan Apostol of Cagayan Region 1 to 3 won the Coco Kapal category with an effective thickness of 26.5 millimeters. Mr. Harisalde Rojo of Catanawan, Quezon, Region 4A, won the Coco Bigat category with an effective weight of 3,400 grams. Cocosina is a series of live online cooking sessions or demonstrations using various coconut food ingredients in partnership with the private sector and coconut farmer organizations through social media platforms. Our private sector and culinary school partners are Nestle Philippines, Maggi, International Oil Factory, Baguio Oil, Primex Group of Companies, and ISHCOM, or International School for Culinary Arts and Hotel Management. The said cooking demonstrations were streamed live through Facebook and was watched online by 66,700 viewers. At the regional level, PCA offices have also participated in the Cocosina series by also sharing recipes through live cooking demonstrations which were streamed online through Facebook. Four international cuisine recipes: mango coconut panna cotta, tom kagay or Thai coconut soup, grilled pork satay, and chicken curry empanada were also shared to the online community through Facebook. As response from the public, people are requesting for more cooking demonstrations and recipes using coconut products. A compilation of all the recipes from the private sector and PCA regional offices will be published collection of the Cocosina recipes, which will be made available through the general public as a final output of this endeavor. The Coco Eskwela e-Technology Learning Series for the Coco Month celebration includes the topics urban agriculture, coconut food products, benefits and handling procedures, organic certification, and barriers to trade and food safety. Urban agriculture was discussed on August 10, 2020 via Zoom and broadcasted live through the PCA MRPD Facebook page with a total of 120 participants. The second topic is the coconut food products benefits and handling procedures, which was discussed by Ms. Rosella B. Villaruel with a total of 96 participants. Organic certification was discussed by Ms. Donabel Angelo on the morning of August 12, 2020, and Mr. Alan Doaban, Marketing Officer of Control Union, presented the organic certification procedures of Control Union in the afternoon through Zoom and broadcasted live through the PCA MRPD Facebook page. Public viewing was set up on regional and provincial offices for the first 3 topics, where they invited farmers, LGUs, and others to attend and participate. Lastly, technical barriers to trade was discussed by Mr. Rodolfo N. Panganiban, Senior Science Research Specialist of Bureau of Agriculture and Fisheries Standards, on the morning of August 20, 2020, while Ms. Luz Brenda Balibria presented the Food Safety International regulations in the afternoon of the said date. A total of 51 PCA technical personnel joined the Zoom conference. School on the Air was launched at DVWM 103.9 Spirit FM Lucena last July 30, 2020. Coco News on-air schedules are a total of 519 coconut farmers and other stakeholders were enrolled in the air program. It was also streamed live through FB, which reached a total of 1,500 viewers. Coconut Month also celebrated in the regional level through Regional Coconut Day. PCA regional offices set up their own Coco Bazaar plus Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita in their respective offices, which was participated by farmers, MSMEs, and PCA project beneficiary partners to promote and sell their coconut products and other agricultural fresh produce. At the PCA Central Office, the Coco Bazaar plus Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita at PCA is conducted every week in partnership with DAMS, wherein agricultural fresh produce and coconut products are made available to the consumers at affordable prices. The e-Co-Commercial is an online marketing platform for coconut products wherein consumers can order coconut products at their own convenience and have it delivered to their respective homes or offices, and providing an avenue for the MSMEs to sell their products. PCA capped off this year's month-long celebration of the National Coconut Week with a week-long coconut webinar series dubbed as Coco Kwentuhan sa Negosyo from August 24 to 28, 2020, in collaboration with the Coalition for Agriculture Modernization in the Philippines Incorporated, or CAMP. The Coco Kwentuhan was conducted online through Zoom video conference and streamed live through PCA Facebook page.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Once more, a look back at National Coconut Month. Maraming salamat po, D.A. Rosales. Now, to cap off this event, let's all hear the message of support to the PCA Transformation Roadmap from no less than the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture and the Chairman of the PCA Governing Board. Let's all hear from Dr. William D. Dar.
I would like to congratulate the Philippine Coconut Authority for successfully jump-starting its road to transformation. I commend the administration of General Benji Madrigal for instituting these reforms that would help PCA deliver its services more efficiently and effectively. This institutional transformation will hopefully springboard the effort of the current administration in pushing for agribusinessizing as the strategic focus to truly accelerate development in the coconut industry. I'm happy to see active engagement from our partners, both in the public and private sectors, through the creation of the Multi-Sectoral Advisory Board. I also wish to thank the Institute for Solidarity in Asia, led by Dr. Jesus Stanislao, for guiding PCA and providing a mechanism for a sustainable implementation of the performance governance system. Lastly, to Admin Benji, Dr. Javier, Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Velasco, Mrs. Cueta, and Congressman Enverga, I am extending my appreciation to you for your selfless commitment in supporting this undertaking as part of your volunteer mission, as well as in showing your unwavering dedication to serve the coconut industry through the years. Your extensive background and diverse expertise and experience ranging from the field of science, research and development, to agricultural economics and agribusiness, to local governance and policy formulation, to training, education, and personal formation, all of which are key ingredients in ensuring the success of the PCA transformation. Let's join hands in transforming the coconut industry. Muli, maraming salamat po at mabuhay po ang industriya ng pagniniyog sa Pilipinas. Mabuhay po kayo.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary Dar. Once more, the PCA transformation journey is looking like its future is bright already. We have taken strides, and that's only the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our launching of the Transformation Roadmap and as well the oath-taking for the Multi-Sectoral Advisory Board. Maraming salamat po for being a part of this day. Pero nagsisimula pa lang po tayo dyan. When we come back, we are going to be starting up once more Kokokwentuhan sa Negosyo. It's going to be the fifth topic, the fifth day of this webinar series, and we are going to be talking about coconut coffee towns. Ayan, if that sounds interesting to you, do stick around because we will be right back. Maraming salamat po.